Well, hello and welcome back to the Tao Manifesting Tarot, the tarot that is meant for serious people in these oh so serious times. And that is not hyperbole. It is indeed fact. If you take a look at the past 7,000 years of recorded history, and the reason I go back to just 7,000 years is that is when we have some kind of reliable storyline from which to make judgments. You get past 7,000 years ago and you start getting into the Younger Dryas, the Ice Age, the Older Dryas, and you find yourself popping out 12, 13,000 BC. At that point, we have evidence of heavy-duty civilization all around the planet, sophisticated civilization, but we don't have much else. So we go back to where we begin to gather the records, and probably would have had even more had not the Romans destroyed the Library of Alexandria. But whenever you get empires, they want to get rid of information, facts, data. So the Library of Alexandria, which held purportedly loads of ancient information back past 12,000, 13,000 BC, and even farther back, all that gets eradicated. So, such is life. Alrighty. So that's why we focus on the last 7,000 years, and in that time period, we have never been in this situation. The world, the foundations of civilization are being attacked and torn apart in every way possible. It's been going on for a long time, but beneath the surface. Within the last 4 years, it's bubbled up, and we see the sickness, the deceit, the lies really bubbling to the surface. For a lot of people, that is very difficult to confront because they want to live in a fairy tale world. And the last 4 years, if you have been conscious, has stripped all of that away. Again, it's been going on probably since the beginning of mankind, but certainly I would say easily the last 400 or 500 years, maybe longer. 500 years ago, when you could see the seeds of this developing, it was on a very small scale. But seeds grow. And by the time we got to the 1900 era, that's when the seeds began to pop up through the ground. And since then, there has been a focused concentration on world dominance. But it was kept under wraps. And again, only recently, from my mind, probably the assassination of JFK, Martin Luther King Jr., Robert Kennedy, those three in very close order, proximity, really kind of opened the door, but I had no idea about the extent of it until we got to 9/11. And 9/11, I knew stuff had hit the fan, shit had hit the fan. I couldn't put all the parts and pieces together, but since then, parts and pieces have been falling into place. And again, for a lot of people, that's difficult to accept. These are not the kind of people who will come here to take part in this tarot read, because again, this is not lollipops and rainbows, and we don't do that. We live in a very difficult time. This is a transitional time. This is a critical time. I mean, super critical. It is literally D-Day for humanity. And depending on which way we decide as a group, doesn't mean everybody has to agree, by the way, but in large enough numbers, which way we can shift this will determine whether or not humanity continues or disappears. It's that serious. So I come at this tarot reading with that mentality. I've done tarot for over 20 years. Tarot to me does not predict anything. It's very individualistic. It is about frequency. It is about the potential. The question is whether or not you resonate with the frequency of the reading, which is why I keep the readings very tight, very focused. I don't do a lot of distractions. I want you to be able to meditate even as we're doing this. Close your eyes and just listen, feel it, create the pictures in your head. That's what manifesting is all about. Not getting your pictures handed to you by some artificial intelligence device, some computer, smartphone, other bullshit. And in fact, that may be the ultimate problem. Yes, we face the possibility of nuclear war. Yes, we face civilization crumbling on all levels. And then there's the robotic stuff coming. The thing that separates us from all of that is your ability to manifest, your ability to create pictures in your mind. You do it all the time. You've done it all of your life. Usually it's negatively. It's out of fear. Oh no, I don't want that to happen. Oh, I don't want to meet this person. I don't want to, and it happens. Well, what you're doing is manifesting, but in a negative way. We're trying to shift that because it's critical. We are literally at a point where we determine where humanity is going. And then at that point, if we determine negatively, you just pick your poison. Society crumbling, nuclear war, robots, doesn't make any difference. So it's critical, and I don't play games with it. Now, I've also done astrology and numerology for 50 years. Numerology, astrology are the science of cycles. You understand the cycle, you get the energy that fits at an appropriate time. I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty about astrology because I think that's one of the great downfalls of astrology. You have so much crap, so much data thrown at you. Oh, the moon's in here and we got this and we got this and oh man, we got this thing happening here and conjunction and sextile and oh man, in conjunct, oh my God, you lose you. So I take focus on the critical parts. And that usually involves Uranus, Neptune, Pluto because they're the ones that kind of set the foundation. They're the ones that kind of set the direction. I'll break astrology down a little bit more basically down the road a little piece. As I've thought about this, astrology is a fabulous tool, but it gets so wrapped up in the minutia, and the people who do it get so wrapped up in the minutia, it kills the value of astrology. And astrology, numerology, even though they're science of cycles, they don't predict anything. They tell you, this is repeating. It's that kind of energy. Let me give you an example. 165 years ago was 1860. What happened in 1860? In the United States, it was the Civil War. Well, it takes Neptune 165 years to start at that place in 1860, go all the way around the solar system and come back to that same spot. 2025 is that year, 165 years later. 1860, we were talking about Civil War. What the hell do you think we're talking about in the United States today? Same difference, same energy. Little differently configured, but it's the idiots on the left who just refuse any kind of reality, any kind of anything but their delusion, illusion, and they're stuck. And then we got the folks on the right who are fighting, and not perfectly by any stretch, because they got to kind of figure their way through, and they're human beings like everybody else. They screw up like everybody else. But you got the folks on the right trying to resolve issues. Same kind of mentality, the polarization that occurred 165 years ago in 1860. So for very real and honest purposes, the energy, the astrology tells us we are in a civil war again. And it'll be interesting to see how all of that turns out. So what allows us to work with that is tarot. Because the reading, if it connects with you, and it doesn't connect with everybody, so don't worry about it. If it doesn't connect with you, it doesn't mean you're screwed up, doesn't mean the reading's screwed up. It just means that you're not in tune. That's all. Your connection with the tarot energy lets you know when is the time to act and how you should be acting, what your goal should be, what your target should be. Again, if it doesn't resonate, don't worry. There's tomorrow, next week, next month. I'm here every single day. Brand new reading. It will eventually connect with you. When it does, it's a green light. Don't hesitate. Don't delineate. Go. Go. That's the door opening. So let's begin. We got 4 tarot cards. One in the middle is called the Oracle card. It sets the mood for the reading. And today it says, Truth Be Told. It's one of the most difficult things to accomplish because people want to be lied to. People want to be lied to. Mark Twain says it's easier to fool somebody than it is to convince them they have been fooled. People's ego gets in the way. And this is a time, if there has been one, where integrity counts. The truth has to be told, and you have to tell it to yourself first. Numbers up in the left-hand corner, 1 and 4. 1 is beginning, 4 is stability, 1 and 4 together is a 5. You want to make a change for stability's sake. Again, the energy, the Neptunian energy from 1860 when Americans had started the Civil War all the way up to 2025 is the same. It's the same. Civil War. And we are in the middle of one right now because a whole bunch of people don't want to be told the truth. And that takes us to our meme for today, which says, the fact of the matter is that most people don't have the stomach to deal with what's really going on. So they disregard it. Fall back into the illusion or delusion. And that's where the left is. Has been for a long time. And because of that, polarized. Civil War. Interesting to see how it goes out. But we begin it with you and how the energy affects you. We begin all the way on the left, the 8 of Swords. 8 of Swords shows a gal who has 8 swords around her, and the swords are beliefs, ideas, thoughts. And she is surrounded by the stuff that she thought was true, that she believed, and she's blind. She can free herself and walk away from those 8 lies, 8 deceptions. But she's not going to. Again, the fact of the matter is most people don't have the stomach to deal with what's really going on, so they disregard all of it and stay in their delusion. That's where she is. That's going to change. Next card up is the 8 of Wands. Now it's in reverse. So everybody on both sides of the issue know that change is coming. It's inevitable. Has to be different because right now it is too unstable. So what do? Some new information is coming in. Something is, it may be a disaster. It may be an awakening. It may be whatever that gives you the opportunity to wake up. It gives this gal the opportunity to take off the bonds, take off the blindfold, get to see and accept and not stay in illusion. Next card over is 6 of Pentacles. It's reciprocity. Pentacles are your belief system. Reciprocity in the 6 of Pentacles is saying, look, I want to give as good as I get. And as we look through the government now with Doge and other things, we find out that we've been lied to left and right. I mean left and right. And we knew that the government, politicians, bureaucrats were lying the minute that their lips moved. And it's being proven day by day by day. Well, the folks who want to stay in illusion don't like it. Don't like it. They're uncomfortable. They have a system that they can live, tolerate. Some are even benefiting. Don't mess with it. But there's a whole bunch of people who say, no, I'm getting screwed. Let's get down to what's real. Let's do the reciprocity thing in the 6 of Pentacles. And finally, we have the Page of Swords. Pages always change the storyline. You think you're headed in one direction, page goes, whoops, here, put this in add this in. Now that changes everything. Swords are thoughts, ideas, beliefs. That's where we're at. This is, for many people, the Doge. Don't dig into the information. Don't dig into the fact that we can pay billions to Ukraine, billions to Israel, and yet people in Maui, Hawaii, people in Palestine, Ohio, Flint, Michigan, North Carolina, South Carolina, people who are getting $750 one-time payment, their places have been destroyed. But we can give billions to Ukraine. We can give billions to Israel. We can spend money like it's pouring out our ass, and it doesn't make any difference. But the average person, not getting anything. And then they tell us, ooh, Social Security, oh, it's going broke. No, it's not. It's been stolen, just like maybe what's been going on in Fort Knox. You know, there's been tons of gold being shipped from England back here to the United States over the past couple of months. The lie has come full circle. We are going for integrity, and that makes a lot of people feel very uncomfortable. But there's a piece of information, there's some change in thinking, there's something that's coming, the Page of Swords says, that will give us reciprocity, give us a fairer deal, not maybe completely fair. It will allow us to wake up from our delusion, pull the stuff covering our eyes and stuff binding us up, walk away from this lies, bull crap, stuff that we've been told, stuff that we've accepted. We're now finding to be untrue, and that is traumatic for a lot of people. But remember, you take the Neptune energy, where planet Neptune was, and planet is the Neptune of inspiration, great insight, or great delusion. 1860, the planet Pluto was in the spot it's in today. It takes 165 years to go all the way around and come back to the same spot. 165 years. You take 1860, add 165, what do you got? 2025. We are literally at the energy of civil war right now in the United States. The most valuable thing we have is get out of the illusion and tell the truth. Regain our integrity as a country. That's the reading for today. Back again tomorrow with another Tao Manifested reading. Between now and the next time you and I get together, hopefully tomorrow, peace and blessings.